petition your king about every responsibility. I wouldn't have done that if it didn't mean this much. And I believe it means this much to God to let his people know. He said, I have not forgotten your righteousness, love for your people. Because it takes a lot to give of yourself for God's people. And that's what Esther did. She spoke up, and then look what happened. And so, after all this, the king said to Haman, hurry and take the robe to the, in verse 10, take the robe and the horse you have suggested to do for Mordecai, the Jew who sits within the king's gate. Leave nothing undone, all that you have spoken. See, the enemy just blessed you. He thinks he's going to lavish it all on himself. And God turned around and said, all that stuff that you thought you were going to get, give it to my sons and my daughters who have served me. They may not be perfect, but they have walked in their purpose. They have given of themselves. They have forgiven people that did things against them. And they think they're getting over it. Oh, but check what happened. So Haman goes in the end of chapter 6, verse 13, when Haman told his wife Zeresh, all his friends, everything that happened to him, his wise men and his wife, Zeresh, his wife, said to him, oh, if Mordecai be a child of God, you will not prevail against him, but will surely fall. Now, imagine your wife, the one that you sleep with every night, said, boy, you just messed up. You just came against a child of God. It's going to be bad for you. I pray I never hear those words from my wife. While they were still talking, check that out, God, he moved immediately. He said, kings of Egypt, come and hasten Haman to the banquet, which Esther had prepared. Now, I'm not going to belabor the point, but I want to let you see that as they were sitting at the table, then the king asked, what is your petition? Verse 1, verse 3 actually, Queen Esther, it shall be granted you. And what is your request up to the half of this kingdom, it shall be done. And then when King Esther answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, she just keeps saying that. And let that minister to us as well. We do need God's favor, amen? And it pleases the king to let him, my life be given me at my petition and my people at my request. See, it wasn't about her. It was about her and her people. For we have been sold by people, and I be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated. Had we been sold as male and female slaves, I would have held my tongue. Although the king, the enemy, could never compensate for the king's loss. Verse 5, so King Herodes answered and said, Queen Esther, who is he? Not only who is he, but where is he who would dare presume in his heart to do such a thing? And Esther said, the adversary and the enemy is this wicked man. The adversary, it's the adversary, the enemy. Daniel even prophesied that when he told a man, said, when you prayed, the prayer was answered, but the angels have been fighting demons for the last 21 days to get your prayer to you, answer to you. And I'm just going to close with this. As we know, and you can read the rest of the story for yourself, that, and I'll just read it, verse 10. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then the king's wrath subsided. And the chapter 8, it goes on to talk about on that day, King Ahasuerus gave Queen Esther the house of Haman. And he gave Mordecai the position that Haman once had. The word came forth that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. And the king could not sleep until he did right. See, Esther was walking in her purpose, in her assignment to free her people and herself. And Mordecai was walking in his purpose to groom his niece for her assignment. So I want you to just stand up. And we're going to pray.